So much more.
I mean, what I like about this is it's they are proper pedals.
Yeah.
You can just roll that volume off. You can just take it down. Bring the gain up. It's got a lot of gain that you can do a lot with the volume on this. You can eventually clean it up, So I mean, you've got that. But if you want a dirty.
So I think it's something people tend to forget, that you can have all of this, all the pedals on the floor and all the rack gear, but there you have got like an infinitely variable gain control.
Yeah.
And if you pick properly, you've got another infinitely variable gain control with all the dynamics.
Well, yeah.
So if you pick cleverly and you use your volume control and your tone control and you can have so much control over your sound without having to get into
I think
such an effect.
What a lot of people don't do, and I'm probably guilty of it myself until a few years ago, is you've got so much control with the tones.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got this, right? So this is the full balls out, but then just roll the. So, you softened it immediately, more like Down to the Bad Monkey.
Yeah, somebody I was watching on YouTube, Colin, CSG guitarist, does a lot of stuff on YouTube, and he was talking about, you find turn your tone control down and turn it up to where the sound is good. Don't just have it on 10.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be about 7 or 8, so you can just turn it up and have a little bit more push on the tone when you need it, rather than just having it everywhere. I mean, I'm saying I'll just have the tone control on 10.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to do a quick guitar swap here. Just swap those two over for the strap that's over there. There we go. Here's one I prepared earlier. Obviously a very similar looking guitar, and this, you're going to hear a difference on here. These are the same pickups, different wood body, same neck, different finish actually, because this one's nitro and that one's polyurethane. But on here, this is, as we said last time, this is my main working guitar, and I've had to have worked on here. I've had the switches replaced. I do this. I'm like this on the volume control. So I go through volume controls at about probably 1 a year, something like that. But I've replaced, these are CTS pots, which I think.
I wouldn't replace anything with
CTS. They're original.
Yeah.
So that's completely 1981 original electronics. And there's this here. So if I do exactly the same here. Do what?
Mute off.
Always take the mute off. So that's with the tones up.
Yeah.
Okay. This one brings it down even more because of the good quality pots that are on there. And Fender use CTS pots now, so I haven't touched the volume at all there. Yeah. Take the volume off as well. Probably wouldn't want to do both because you'd end up with sound, but
I think it's something you can do as well if you're not squeamish about using a soldering iron, is experiment with different value capacitors on the tone control. Because I think
500 or 250.
No, not the pot value, the actual capacitor.
Oh, you put it in between.
So instead of going for like a point, I think it's a 0.047 microfarad, go for 0.20 or something. You lose different amounts of treble.
Exactly.
And it just affects the way that the tone control works.
I mean, we're talking about gear and sound, and especially tone. The thing is, most people will have 1 or 2 guitars that they use, and they will set their tone up for that. But people set their gear up for a sound, and I have this problem myself. So my gear is set up for a Strat. So we come down here, we take that's set up for this one, a nice one. Then it's on there. We'll also hear that this one's a lot quieter.
Yeah.
Because the pickups on those, this thing just doesn't hum at all, even though it's the same. That needs shielding, the whole guitar. Again, Fender, this is the thing people don't realise. Why does my guitar make a load of noise? Actually, you've got no shielding in it at all. You touch your fingers here. Because the whole thing needs to be shielded and earthed if it's not earthed. But then I've got Les Paul. And then
just try this because the
So now we've got a humbucker with the same bit of wood and virtually the same neck.
Yeah, I mean this is older body maple neck.
So
this is
right. So this one's older. That one's ash. So this is actually exactly the same wood.
Yeah, but
and the neck, and to be honest, even the same shape.
Yeah, similar profile.
Yeah, but what I mean is actually, you're not saying you've got a big lump of wood because you've got a headstock that's like this.
No. I mean that's much
Yeah.
To me.
You'll get pinched harmonics on there far easier. Yeah, you won't get that off here.
But that's just the characteristics of the humbucker. But if I'd set that rig up for my guitar, and then plugged in my Strat, it would.
It'd be completely different.
Yeah.
It's like
I think it's a strange thing because there's so many component parts. You know, whether it's the wood that the guitar's made of, it's the pickups, the value pots, capacitors, what you got on the floor, what you got in the rack, and you can kind of make your sound, and you can change just one thing. Like you can change, from that Strat to that Strat, or something with single coils to something with humbuckers, and it has such a drastic change. But at the same time, it's still kind of it's
still your sound.
Still the sound. It's just it's got a slightly different character. And if you sat and you were sitting here playing this guitar, it would sound different because of the way the guitar rests against your body and the way you resonate and
I'll tell you what, just as a little thing, just on just a little something over a pentatonic, just over. Right, so over there. That's the lead here. Going to use exactly the same notes, probably not the same lick.
Yes,
so just completely set, lower output, lower volume, and stuff like that. Just a simple test is. Just try that on yours. Yeah. Just something like that. Completely different. Right. Now this for a test. Shot guitar. I still think that sounds like me.
It does.
It sounds like
because there's a question somebody was asking me. He desperately wanted to get the sound of this particular guitarist
without chopping his hands off.
And he researched it. It's like he uses these guitars, he uses these pickups, he uses down to this string gauge, these picks and everything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like. I'm going to say
it doesn't matter if it's Mark Knopfler or if it's David Gilmour.
Let's say it was Dave Gilmour. It doesn't sound like Dave Gilmour. So the problem you've got is what you're hearing isn't Dave Gilmour.
Yeah.
You're hearing Dave Gilmour sounding like Dave Gilmour.
Yeah.
If you went on stage with Pink Floyd and you picked up his gear exactly as he played it, it sounded like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounding like Dave Gilmour. And people don't get that there's this huge organic component part in the signal chain, and it has such an effect on the song.
Funny, I mean, which is why it's always, especially if you do like cover songs, it's very hard to half the time, without slowing stuff down, you know what people are playing.
Yeah.
But then everyone got something so completely different because how you hear something as well might not be the way that somebody plays it. It's like well, hang on, I'm playing it there, but then you find that someone's playing it in an open string or they're doing it up there. I mean, obviously there are some things that just a G chord is a G chord, but I mean, there's it's like is somebody doing this? Is somebody doing this? Is somebody doing this?
Yeah.
And then you realise people put open strings in. It's that type of thing, and then are they bending it up? And it's it's very hard. You can't. I mean, the thing is to say, play like somebody, just sound like somebody. Yeah. But get your own sound. Yeah. Be yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the thing to say. Actually, I like that sound, and that's what I want to do. As soon as you start trying to copy a sound, and I have to do it for you'll come across some songs that you've got to have a sound that sounds like that.
I've heard that sound on record. I've heard it on radio so many times.
Yeah.
They want a certain amount of fidelity to that sound.
I mean, it is. You'll find that with professionals as well. Is that you go expecting to see somebody do a song, and then they do an acoustic version of the song, and it's not the they've completely redone it. There's loads of songs like that are iconic. Where people think Money for Nothing, that type of like wah wah intro, or All Along the Watchtower, or Purple Haze, or that type of stuff, where people try to emulate the sound. You just got to get it as near as you can. You will never sound exactly like that.
There's a video. I was twiddling around on YouTube this morning, and I think we've had this conversation before about the amount of money that people will spend on like boutique distortion pedals to get like that sound. Yeah. Like somebody got back in the 50s with something that you can make for like coppers now. Yeah. But there was another video, I think it was a Chappers and Lee video, and Lee just came out with something. This just sums it up perfectly. He says, "Do you realise how hard is, how many people were at Woodstock? Like 150,000 people. 150,000 people really struggled to enjoy the sound of Jimi Hendrix because of the fact that none of his pedals were true bypass.
Yeah, well, it is a case. It's that search for that ultimate tone, isn't it? I mean, I'm a gear whore. I mean, this is, and I like it. But if it was all taken away tomorrow, I'd still have an amp.
Yeah.
Got another amp if I had to use on that one. But I would still, the stuff. I like experimenting. I like mixing stuff up, which this system allows me to do. I like being able to have I want a bit of that, bit of that, and have like a bad monkey in it as well, just to beef it up. And that's, it's harder probably when you're trying to do. I need a good sound to do this song, or I need, a sound to do that one. And what you'll find is that actually some of the cleaner, less distorted sounds are the harder ones to get. To get that glistening, clean Martin Knopfler, Eric Clapton, or David Gilmour to some degree, they're harder to get than something that's just everything's on 10.
Yeah.
You probably find it's easier to get an AC/DC sound because the guy doesn't use many effects. He's got a few Marshalls all set with different stuff, and that's it. The cleaner stuff is the harder, or the way out distortions of the metallic of the world.
Because people, I think, when they want a distortion sound, particularly at the start of experimenting sort of with bedroom levels, they think that the way to a good metal tone, and I think of all the sins against tone, metal is probably the worst offender. The way to a sound is get a boss metal zone, turn everything up to full tilt, and probably put some gain on the amp and put it in series, and it just sounds rubbish. The best sounds is where you can hear the sound of the guitar through the effect.
Vibrating through because the gain's so high. I think people make a lot of mistakes. Like you said, they start off and just whack everything up. And I want to get like that sound. And I reckon even if you go to the likes of the Megadeth and Metallicas, they're not sitting at 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. What they're doing is they're putting like bass EQs in there to get it really, get it really down to that sort of sound.
But it's about using your ears and thinking, what am I hearing? What does it need? What's it got too much of? How do I need to tweak this? Rather than just, I'm going to turn this up and see what happens. You need to be a bit more intelligent about it.
I think you've got to, exactly what you're saying now, is with your ear, is actually, does it sound any good? I think most people know whether it doesn't sound, or if it's not like the Slashes of the world. He's using Marshalls, but if you listen to the intro to Sweet Child of Mine, you hear every note. It's not that distorted. It's got a bit of chorus on it. It's on a neck pickup, but you can, it's like you hear the notes.
Yeah, I mean that's it. So one of those false conceptions people have about rock tone is it's about overdrive. It's about having a Marshall overdrive. It's not. If you listen to the really good guitar tones, AC/DC is a classic example. This is how not overdriven the overdrive sound is.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if there's I can't remember what it is. There's a bit of software out there that's for free, which you can download, which will slow songs down, speed them up, put them into different keys and keep the length the same and stuff like that. And it allows you to take tracks off them. So you can take like the vocals out, you can take the drums out. So you can actually basically make a bit like karaoke stuff. And it's fantastic for doing it because what you can do is you hear, and this is something that, again, I think it probably took me 10 or 15 years to work this out. You sit there on your own in the room playing a guitar, and you think that's okay. I've got quite a nice tone there and stuff like that. When you actually got a band, and you've got a guy who's on bass, with a nice bass sound that's coming through, you've got bass drums, everything might come through. When you actually hear it on the record, your sound doesn't have to be that dirty. You've got the rest of the band behind you, and when you strip it down to actually what's just the line, they're nowhere near as distorted as what your ears think they are, because you've got some guy hitting the snare drum as hard as he can.
That's the other thing, that when you're setting your sound up and you're tweaking the EQ for how you want it to work when you're in a band, you need to avoid the frequencies where your bass player lives. And especially if you've got two guitar players in the band and you both play Les Pauls and you both play Strats, you're going to be kind of fighting for the same frequency spectrum, so your rhythm guitar needs to be somewhere in the mix and your lead needs to be somewhere else, and you need to tune your sound to fit in with everybody else.
It's amazing. It's just like, there are some songs, you can hear, but you can, if you listen to, in fact, you mentioned AC/DC there before, Shut Me All Night Long, something like that, when you hear it, the intro to it, he's playing,
nothing like it.
But he's playing through about 4 amps as well to get like a different tone. He's got a wet dry on there. When the band starts, it's the rest of the band that fill the sound in there. It's not as dirty. That's why you hear those chords. You think it's a really dirty sound, but it's not.
Someone was saying, I can't remember where I read it, that a lot of the classic AC/DC drive sound, it's actually not drive, it's clean.
Yeah.
It's the speakers that's giving you the drive. It's, if you're in a studio, you can't do it, generally in your home environment or whatever. But if you've got a studio with nice soundproofing, clean amp, but just push it and let the speakers give you the bite.
Well,
it's not about putting loads and loads of dirt into the sound.
No, and I tell you, if anybody wants to watch the Joe Satriani rig rundown that Premier Guitar have done,
they just do stuff.
On his rig rundown, he's got a huge pedal board.
Yeah.
Most of the sound is coming from the amps.
Yeah.
And what he's saying is, I think he had the reverb units taken out and a noise gate built in, and there is Marshall Signature Series, and he says, I'm running them on stage at 120 decibels each.
Whoa.
No wonder he's got earplugs in.
Yeah.
120 decibels. So actually, the amp's running full pelt, the power amps and the preamps are going there. The gain won't, I tell you what, the gain won't be on 10 because it would blow, it would just be a noise.
Actually, I'll tell you one of the best sound experiences I've had. I mean, I've seen we've seen some of the classic bands like AC/DC who have really good guitar sounds.
Yeah.
But one of the best sound experiences I've had was in a medium-sized playhouse. You remember the old University Theatre in Newcastle? The Newcastle Playhouse.
Blues player?
It was, I went to see a big band. It was like a 30 or 40 piece swing band, all brass.
Yeah.
Really nice venue, but when they really kicked off, they were you could feel the air moving.
Yeah.
This is when you realise, sound is about air pressure.
Yeah.
But it is a massive organic thing.
Yeah.